Hey everyone, welcome to the B-Side Breakdowns first episode. My name is Brett Johnson and I will be your host. Today I'm going to be speaking with Adam Coolong from the Wild Colonial Bhoys, but before we get to Adam, I want to give you some background and context on what this podcast is all about. I'm going to be talking with songwriters, musicians, artists about a song or a piece of music they've written that is most meaningful to them and really get into the why behind it. We're going to be talking to artists across genres, those that are familiar to you and others that are brand new to you. So let's get right into it. Here is Red Haired Lass by Wild Colonial Bhoys.
I met a red-haired lass one night and I asked her to dance. The full moon was shining in her eyes that told me take a chance. So I twirled her around that dance floor all night long. When the band was done playing, everybody screamed one more song. Oh, 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 wake me up from this dream. Because that red-haired lass couldn't be as good as she seems. I met a red-haired lass one night in Dublin town. Lights were shining bright and the rain was lashing down. I asked her her name and she whispered it to me. I could smell her hair as she whispered so softly. Oh, 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 wake me up from this dream. Because that red-haired lass couldn't be as good as she seems. One night under starry skies, with a flower in her hair and a smile like a sweet surprise. My heart was beating heavy and my breath caught in my throat. I took her by the hand and I offered her my coat. From this dream, because that red-haired lass couldn't be as good as she seems. Oh, 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 wake me up from this dream, because that red-haired lass couldn't be as good as she seems.
All right, and that was Red Haired Lass by Wild Colonial Bhoys. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Stay with us. Hey again, it's Brett from the B-Side Breakdown. Real quick, if you're digging this podcast and want to hear episodes without the ads, you can join our supporters tier called Down for the Cause over on Patreon. It's $5 a month. You get all of the episodes ad-free. You get them in advance before they're published, and you help keep this whole labor of love alive. That's at patreon.com/B-Side Breakdown. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. All right, and we're back. Let's bring in Adam Coolong from the Wild Colonial Bhoys to talk about their song Red Haired Lass. Hey, Adam, thanks for being here.
How's it going?
Great, man. How are you doing?
I'm well.
Awesome.
Glad to be here.
Hey, glad to have you. You know, I really wanted to get into the song Red Haired Lass that you sent me. It's such a great track from the Wild Colonial Bhoys, and I know you've been a band for almost 20 years. You've done a lot of stuff in the Midwest, in Minneapolis, Minnesota area, as well as Ireland. And I look forward to getting into it, and hopefully you can touch on kind of all of that. But, you know, initially for the point of this podcast is for me to really get your perspective on why a song or piece that you've written is particularly meaningful to you, regardless of what band it was in, when it came from, if it was released, previously unreleased, what have you. I just look forward to hearing about it. And again, Red Haired Lass is such a wonderful song. I love it. It's one of my favorites by your band. And I look forward to hearing more about it. So tell me what you can.
Yeah, so Red Haired Lass, this song is the first track on my band Wild Colonial Bhoys' latest album, which is a few months old at this point, several months old at this point, but album called Remote Ruaille Buaille that we recorded all separately on kind of hiatus from each other during the pandemic and various lockdowns, et cetera, et cetera. Red Haired Lass predates the album writing process a little bit, but we recorded it for the album, so we included it. And it was written actually on spec. It was something that we were asked to write a song for a local Irish dance school that we work with on occasion. As you know, Brett, they're called Rinkin School of Irish Dance. It means dance of the heart in Irish. And we were asked, hey, write a fun, upbeat song that we can dance to at our shows. And we thought that'd be a fun little challenge. And as a songwriter, a different kind of challenge and approach, which is always welcome. I like to shake up the process a little bit. And so we sat down. The song was written by myself and our fiddle player, Tommy Comeau. The song titled Red Haired Lass, there's an existing Irish traditional tune, which most people know as, when they hear the term jig or reel, and they dance in bars wearing green on St. Patrick's Day. Irish traditional music, is that. So we took an existing, what is it? It's a reel called The Red Haired Lass. And we wrote the song around the reel. So Tony said, I know a reel called Red Haired Lass. It's pretty cool. Let's check it out. So I said, yeah, that's great. And so we used the reel itself as kind of the dance break that the dancers wanted. And we played that a few times, one after the other on the recordings to give them time to dance live to it. And the song itself then was kind of a rapper. If the Red Haired Lass tune is the cream in the middle of the Oreo, the song is kind of the wafers, right? So I sat down and fleshed out, some sort of an actual rock song that could go around it. And so I wrote the music and the lyrics to that section of it. So long story short, that's kind of how that came about, which was a lot of fun because, when you're sitting down writing a song on your own and you're just staring at a blank page, maybe a lyric comes first, maybe, something on the guitar happens that inspires you to do something else. With this whole, give me a song we can dance to thing, that's not really something I had been asked to do many times before. So it was a fun little challenge and kind of a twist on my normal process, which is always a good time. I don't normally write songs about love and relationships. And so that itself was an intentional exercise. I wanted to do something like that just because I thought it would fit and it would be something people would think would be cool. So there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And that's so interesting because for me as a listener, I mean, yeah, and having I mean, obviously the honor of playing bass on that live, which was really fun to
Yeah,
do. I mean, it was so
that
much
was great.
fun to play and be a part of. But what was interesting to me is not having any of that context or background. I mean, it's such a different perspective as a listener because for me, I listen to it and I mean, I'm telling you, man, like if that's your first attempt at writing kind of that style of sort of almost kind of like a love song in that regard, I mean, it's incredible. Like your the visual sense of what's happening in the song and your emotion that you put in that I experience from your vocals and how you sing it is it's like the passion you have behind it is like palpable. Like it's so good. It's like I mean, to me, I'm just like, this is incredible. Like, I wish this is a real thing that I could have watched happen. And I can, again, totally visualize like the small bar and some sort of dance floor. And there she is. And just kind of like the whirlwind of the romance that sort of goes along in it, which I thought was just so great. So with
Thank
that,
you.
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, well, I was just going to say, I mean, you got it. I mean, that's what I was going for. So if that came through, then awesome. That's
It really
good.
did. It was crystal clear. And I just thought that was such a cool part of that. But the thing that, so I mean, as willing as much information as you're willing to obviously share. I mean, was that based on anything from your past, like a legitimate, like real experience you did have? You know, current or past relationship, whatever. I'm just wondering, like, did that happen, or was
Uh,
it someone you saw once and kind of went and that just what sparked that whole thing, or did you really just kind of drum that up?
I'll be honest. I think I just kind of drummed it up. I mean, the first rule of writing is always, write about what you know, right? But I'm not much for following kind of patterns, so I just sort of made it up as I went along. I like story songs. A lot of the material that I think is the strongest stuff that I come up with, and like lyrically, the Wild Colonial Boys does is like a song that tells a story. I prefer writing that kind of stuff because I think it's more interesting to me for whatever reason. That's just my approach, and maybe because I find it a little bit easier rather than using a ton of heavy metaphor and kind of masking the true intent of a song or whatever. So I don't know. I just kind of sat down and came up with a little scenario, and it's fairly universal. So it's certainly not something that is incredibly, it's not unique or anything, right? So I could certainly see myself in that scenario, as I'm sure everybody who tried to meet girls in bars, can see themselves in as well, right? So
Yeah, without a doubt. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with more from Adam Coolong from the Wild Colonial Boys. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. I'm still here with Adam Coolong. Adam, thank you so much for sharing that song with us and giving us the context and background on it. Such a cool story, and I love the song again. I love what you're up to, and look forward to hearing more about what you got coming up next. So I want to turn it back to you just to tell us, do you have any shows coming up? Is there anything you want to plug? Feel free.
yeah, I mean, the Wild Colonial Boys have some stuff coming up. We have an acoustic trio gig at O'Donovan's in downtown Minneapolis, O'Donovan's Irish Pub. That's Saturday, August 6th. The big one is the weekend after that. Friday, August 12th, we'll be at the Irish Fair of Minnesota, which is a really big festival. I believe it's the largest Irish festival in the upper Midwest or something like that, but it's a really, really great time. And that's always a highlight on our calendar. We'll be there on Friday, August 12th. And then the night after that, Saturday, the 13th, we'll be at the White Squirrel in St. Paul, which is a cool little room. And I've played there once before. That's a good time. And I'm just looking forward to getting out there. It's been a long time since we've been able to play as the full 5-piece band. So that's kind of what we're focused on now.
That's great, man. I'm super excited that you're playing on Saturday, August 6th, because I'm going to happen to be in town for that, and I look forward to come catching the set. That'll be awesome, but I'm glad that the full band is able to get out there again, too. One other thing I wanted to circle back on, I know a few months back you went to Ireland again, and post-COVID or kind of post-pandemic shutdown, now that things have reopened, how did that experience go, and what was that like?
I was great. We were there in March over St. Patrick's Day, which is March 17th for your non-Irish and Irish American listeners. And we were one of the first groups back in Ireland. They had locked down hard 2 or 3 times over the course of the pandemic, such that I mean, it was nothing like it was here. It was literally, you were not allowed to go anywhere 5 kilometers, I believe, from your house. In Ireland, you were basically locked down. Everything was closed. And they were really very happy to see us, which was fun because, you know, I mean, tourism in Ireland is an important part of their economy, but they still love to slag Americans. You know, there's tons of Americans that come to Ireland, but I was stopped on the street several times and told, you know, thank you for coming back to Ireland. We missed you, which was really cool. That was really cool. And we had great shows. We had a nice group of Americans traveling with us. We had about 40 Americans there on the tour with us. We had some really great gigs. It was a wonderful time. Really was. Stayed in a castle. That was cool. Yeah, 5-star castle. Never done that before. That was really, really cool.
That is cool.
It was like staying at Downton Abbey. It was awesome.
Man, that's amazing. That just sounds like such a wonderful, rich experience. I'm so glad that you guys were so well received back over there and that everybody got to go with you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Adam. You know, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me about Wild Colonial Bhoys and specifically Red Haired Lass, the song. But for the listeners that want to reach out and get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to find you out on socials, etc.?
Well, we're on all the usual social media stuff. Facebook, because we're old. I think we have an Instagram page, all that stuff. In addition, wildcolonialboys.com is our website, and that's got links to everything you're going to need. So that's a good spot.
Sounds good. So anyone looking for anything Wild Colonial Bhoys, please go to wildcolonialboys.com. I will post that link on the B-Side Breakdown website, which will take you to their various socials that they have out there between Facebook, sounds like maybe Instagram. I guess we'll see. But Adam, thank you so much for taking time with me to chat.
Awesome, Brett. Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday the 6th, and we'll look for the new upcoming Wild Colonial Bhoys releases in the future. Thanks again, man.
Three Crows Club presents B-Side Breakdown.
All right, that wraps up the first episode of the B-Side Breakdown featuring Adam Coolong from the Wild Colonial Bhoys. Again, my name is Brett Johnson. I am your host, and we will have another podcast for you to listen to in about a couple weeks. So please make sure you subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and you will be notified as soon as the next episode is ready. Also want to take this moment to thank Adam Coolong and Carrie Bozel for your help in putting together the jingle for this podcast on this episode, as well as Three Crows and a Cardinal for providing the song Simpleton that you're listening to right now in the background. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you soon.